Hello and welcome. I'm Ben. I'm a finance professor. And today we're going to talk about Microsoft Q1 2022 earnings. I'm going to try to come up with a standard format. I'm going to talk about how the firm did relative to what Wall Street expected, how the firm did relative to a year ago, how the individual segments of the firm did, what the firm expects for the next quarter, and then any other special things are relevant. I'm going to try to make it simplified and standardized and give you what you want to know. If you have ideas about what I could do better, please put those in the comments below. I'm going to try to do this on companies that are big, or companies that are important, or companies that have big surprises, where their earnings are way above what Wall Street expected or way below what Wall Street expected. We'll talk about Microsoft today. $1.9 trillion. So Microsoft's revenue grew by 22%. And its earnings grew by 48%. So a really nice first quarter for 2022 for Microsoft. Next, if we think about how Microsoft did relative to what Wall Street expected, their revenues were 3% higher and their earnings were 10% higher. So we have nice surprises there. As far as Microsoft goes, there are three main segments. There's Office, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, all that. Then they have cloud computing, which is a big grower for them. It's been growing at about 30 or 40% per year for a while, for the last few years. And then finally, we have other stuff, which is like the Surface tablet and the Xbox. And it will also include the Activision Blizzard acquisition they made, but that won't come online until next fiscal year. So if we break the company out into those three segments, Office, cloud computing, and other stuff, revenues are broken pretty evenly, like a third, a third, a third. But earnings are not so evenly split. 37% of earnings come from Office, 37% of earnings come from cloud computing, and only about 25% of earnings come from other stuff. Also, if we look at the profit margins, Office has a 50% profit margin, cloud computing has a 44% profit margin, and other stuff has a 38% profit margin. So that's how things look in Q1 2022 at Microsoft between the different segments. If we think about how the segments did relative to a year ago, Microsoft Office, the revenue grew by 22% and the earnings grew by 33%. Cloud computing saw 31% revenue growth and 39% earnings growth. And the other stuff saw 12% revenue growth and a 7% earnings growth. So cloud computing, just like at Amazon, is growing the fastest here at Microsoft. In Q1 2022, Microsoft returned $11 billion to shareholders, $6 billion through repurchases, and $5 billion through dividends. Microsoft's current forward PE ratio is 23. The forward PE over the last 12 months has averaged 33, so it's down significantly, almost a third in this quarter relative to the last 4 quarters. Finally, we talk about Microsoft's guidance for Q2 2022. So how is the firm going to do next quarter? It expects 14% revenue growth and 5% earnings growth. This would be relative to Q2 2021. So relative to a year ago, 14% revenue growth, 5% earnings growth. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.